and I forgot to open my camera. Oops. Whoopsies. And we don't have music going. I forgot how awkward the silence is. Oh my god, I look ghostly pale. Guys gotta let me tan in the summertime. Let me also open up the creator dashboard. Get the stream manager going. Go away, OBS. Put this to the side, I think. Wow. Look at that, look at that. If you guys don't mind, actually, I'm gonna schedule... Oh, that needs to go live now. Whoopsies. Man, everything is a little scuffed today. Move my microphone just a little bit closer. And then, let me also start scheduling up this post. Submission for... to do the different ad. Oh my god, I hope no one's in chat while I'm doing this. That would be embarrassing. You know what, let me just write that later. It's too dreadfully silent and I feel way too focused on that. I'm gonna draft all of this. Alright. So that's drafted and I'll work on that later. I should follow this person back. Forgot to do that. Anyways, don't think anyone's quite here yet. Let's get the Stardew Valley soundtrack going. Let's do that one. Because we're drawing Stardew Valley, sort of. Let me also get rid of that. I hope the bitrate is good. Okay, we're strong, we're strong, we're strong. I think. Oh god, I hope. I hope the stream isn't lagging because I'm watching it on the creator dashboard and I can see it. Showing it good on OBS. Oh god, don't do this to me again. Don't let this be a repeat of last time. Last time was so sad. Well, not last stream, but like a stream like 2 weeks ago at this point. I guess we'll just pray. Okay. So, hello to viewers. I'm sure y'all are just lurkers. Welcome. If you don't follow me on Twitter or Blue Sky, I'm sure everything just seems kind of sporadic and random if you are just here on Twitch, but otherwise, I posted that Johnny would be willing to, or maybe I didn't post that. Oh no. I mentioned that I wanted to stream Stardew Valley with my brother Johnny. You guys have probably met my brother Clive. He's the one I did the Borderlands stream with. Johnny is the other brother who doesn't usually like being online, but he is willing to do this if it means he gets to play Stardew Valley with me. So I very much appreciate him for that. The reason why he's not in the thumbnail right now is because he will actually be drawing his own half of the thumbnail, presumably. And I don't know when that's gonna happen, but I'm gonna assume it's happening. And, it's gonna be a modded run, because in our vanilla playthrough, we're already, like, kind of far. We're in year, we made it to year 2 last night. We've been playing, like, almost every night at this point. It's low-key a problem, because I am not getting the hours of sleep that I need for work. But that's not an issue. That's just a lifestyle. A very, very problematic lifestyle. Oh, suddenly Stream Dashboard is saying I have 0 followers. I think it'd be really funny if all 56 people had just unfollowed all at once. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Anyways, so that's the next game I will be playing. I guess besides Hollow Knight and, like, other things. Hang on. My tablet's not even properly set up. There we go. Stay on the Medibang screen. Anyways, so, like, forgot what I was saying. I got so distracted by my art tablet not working. Yeah, first stream of the year. Happy New Year to everyone. I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning, but it's fine. Yeah, I will be romancing Elliott again because I think the idea of just gifting this man copious amounts of fish until he loves me has to be one of the funniest things in my brain currently that I can think of. So that is the goal of the Stardew streams when they start, which is actually, assuming everything goes well, which is actually going to be on Tuesday. We're gonna bring the Tuesday streams back because holiday season should hopefully be over, and we're gonna be vibing with Stardew. Johnny's gonna be there. You get to see how me and him are together because it's very different from how me and Clive are together, which I think is very funny. But yeah, you guys have no idea how hard it was to look up, like, art reference for this guy, because, oh my god. For those of you who have never played, like, his tuck sprite, his portrait, when the little dialogue box comes up, is always, like, a side profile. So, and then, not only that, but the entire game is 8-bit sprites. Oh, I forgot to add Nikki. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, guys. I need to, like, not be stupid. I'm so stupid, guys. I'm so silly and forgetful. Anyways, it's only like 8-bit stuff, so, like, there's certain, like, ways you have to, like, read the details. That's just a long-winded saying for me, or that's just a long-winded way of me saying that I'm abysmally stupid. And I was staring at my phone, like this, trying to, like, get a better look at, what this man's clothes look like, because there were so many. I was looking at fan art at some point, because I was like, I just need to see what the rest of the world is doing, and people interpret his, like, little overworld sprite a little differently from, like, artist to artist, so it's to the point where it's like I have to sit there and be like, which interpretations do I like? There was one where I really liked the hair, for example, so I took like some notes off of that, and then when you look at the sprite, it's actually like one of those like twin tailcoats, the one that has that little thing there in the middle. I don't know what it's called. I just know my band director wore it to our concerts when when the band was getting really, really good back in high school. So that happened. Also, I made hot chocolate today. It's got a little bit of alcohol in there because of course it does. Been kind of waiting for it to like cool down a little so it doesn't burn my tongue and I can taste it. There you are! Hi, Nikki! I really, genuinely almost forgot. And then I sat here for a bit talking to myself and I was like, wait a minute, there was a thing I was supposed to do when stream started. So, whoopsies, but don't worry, I remembered eventually. Like, 10 minutes into stream. Yes, remembering is very difficult. Hello! I've been sitting here rambling about trying to find reference art to draw from which to draw the silly author man from Stardew Valley because God forbid I have the brain capacity to God forbid I have the brain capacity to understand what the pixels are telling me. Yes, husband. He's very silly. I love him. It's a shame that for stream I'm not gonna be able to like react to the heart events the same way that I did in me and Johnny's vanilla playthrough, but we'll get to but maybe the mods will add more content, so I'm looking forward to that because it's gonna be a modded run of Stardew because again we're already kind of far in the vanilla one. Me and Johnny made it to like year 2 last night and I'm like I have a problem. Yes, I love him for that. He's so silly. I don't understand why people think he's so pretentious. He's just... Would it be wrong to say that I think he has autism? I think he has autism. There's so many villagers where me and Johnny just kind of like look at each other like, that guy has the tism right there. It's like gays sniffing out the other gays. Yeah, I'm gonna be romancing him again, just because I think it's funny to give him copious amounts of fish and he lives on a beach. And to be fair, he does love one kind of fish, it's just you don't get it from the fishing minigame. But yeah, Johnny's gonna draw his half of the thumbnail, hence why it's only me, or hence why it's only my little character here. Johnny's going to be drawing his character, and whichever character he's gonna romance. I'll wanna say it was Haley, but I don't remember. He literally moved to Beach House because he was so easily distracted by anything other than writing. His only solution was to move somewhere without electricity and become a hermit. He's got ADHD for sure. No, you're so right. I say the autism thing because, oh my god, this man does not know anything about social interactions. You see him, like, hang out with one person, and it's the other, like, artist who, like, went to go live, like, somewhere without electricity to focus on their art. That's a tism thing for sure, if I've ever seen one. He got hit with the double whammy. Who doesn't love a good old double whammy? But yeah, I'm excited for the playthrough. We're gonna play Tuesday, just because it's been a while. The Tuesday streams are 11:30 to 2:30. I hope Johnny will wake up for that, because he's nocturnal. I got hot chocolate here. What mods are we getting? Okay, so for sure, we are getting the Stardew Expanded mod, because the way Johnny described it to me, it's like the unofficial Stardew DLC. And he thinks it's caught up to 1.6 now. I hope it is. And then, we also said the date night mod, because I saw that one in a YouTube short, and that one just adds, it makes it so, like, your spouse in the game, does a little bit extra, so it's like they have a chance of taking you out on a date, and they have, like, little cutscenes that play out. So I'm sure that's gonna be really funny when me and Johnny, like, inevitably pass out because, one of us is on a date. And then, the other mod that Johnny wanted to get was the tractor mod, because, his argument was that Stardew Valley Expanded also, like, expands the farm, so, I need to remember to draw and talk at the same time. It expands the farm, and... oh god, this is harder than I remember. It's been such a long time since I've done the art streams. It expands the farm, and having the tractor is gonna be really helpful. Because the stupid thing about multiplayer is that the time doesn't stop, like, at all. So it's just like the days go by so fast. And it's so painful, but it's so funny. But yeah. Yeah, Expanded does seem like a good starting point. I want to get there was this one mod that I saw when I was looking at Nexus. It's just like an aesthetic mod. It adds fish to the water, and I think I like that a lot as someone who is addicted to the fishing minigame. It's so funny. Johnny will be like, what am I gonna do today in Stardew? And I'll be like, I know what I'm gonna do today, and I'm already like halfway to the beach. When I say halfway to the beach, I mean halfway to the beach, fishing rod in hand. I'm not on my way to see Elliott, I swear. Ah, I'm silly today. Yeah. It's a good thing Johnny is playing with me too. If I streamed Stardew on my own, I kid you not, it would literally just be the fishing game minigame. Or the fishing minigame for 3 hours, and I wish my little, dumb, stupid reptile brain, didn't need a second person to get me to actually interact with the other townsfolk. But unfortunately it does. I just hand Elliott a random things I found, and eventually he decides that it's partner material. It's so true, though. Let's see. I started out gifting him fish, because thankfully he's neutral to that. And it does absolutely nothing other than make me laugh. And also keep him fed. You can't tell me that this guy isn't the type of guy to, like, shut himself in for, like, 10 hours a day and then, like, forget to eat. Like, I swear he only goes to the saloon, like, once a week, and then he goes to Pierre, like, once a week. I would definitely fall for someone who gave me free vegetables/fish. Groceries are expensive. Yeah, exactly. And Pierre's prices certainly aren't helping. It's a good thing I never buy from him, because God forbid I also remember to do farming. Like I said, I need a second person to play Stardew Valley with, otherwise it's like so overwhelming for me and I just default to fishing minigame over and over and over again. All my homies hate Pierre. Yeah, support small businesses, except Pierre. Yeah, but no, in Pierre's defense, like genuinely, that is a small business to run, but he's also he's got tough competition in Fantasy Walmart across the street. Which you'd think that Fantasy Walmart would pose more of a threat, but like Fantasy, I should just call it Jojo Mart. Jojo Mart is so like far in that one corner that I always forget to go to. And it's to the point where I can't even like put like a valid excuse in my head to take up the Jojo route, because it's like, it's all the way over there. I'm gonna miss out on so much time I could use fishing. He claims to grow the food himself, and that's what makes me mad. Yeah, that's the only thing I really don't like. Because it's like, bro, I'm right here. Like, really? Right in front of my homegrown salad. But yeah. Who else are we hating on in Stardew Valley? I know Clint's another one that apparently everyone hates. Which, on one hand, I feel bad for him. On the other hand, I think he's just not I'm kidding. No, there's like, I feel so bad for some of the characters, because I think Concerned Ape intended for them to come off a certain way, and then when the fans started saying that, like, making their own headcanons, he was like, oh man, these headcanons are actually, like, kind of fire, let me write that into the game, and I'm like, well, now Pierre's a capitalist, Clint's a creep, incel, and Mayor Lewis is clenching my fist. Oh, Demetrius, I forgot about Demetrius, yeah. That whole thing where it's like, I don't want you talking to my daughter, and I'm like, sir, your daughter is the one who told me to help with this experiment of yours. You tell that to her, not me, at least. He's also kind of addicted to Abigail sometimes, but it's not that bad, honestly. I mean, yeah. To be fair, like, I too would be mildly concerned, for different things if my young and only child, was suddenly doing, like, very, like, occult things and going off by themselves in the woods and going off by themselves at night. Like, I live in a safe neighborhood, but, like, there's a pretty stark difference between, like, going out for a walk and going out for a walk at, like, midnight. Oh my god. Automod. Automod. Be civil, Automod. This is a place of free speech, and I will allow such speech. Demetrius is the dickish autism rep we need. Not all autistic people are nice, sometimes they suck. Yeah, it's true. It's true. He's so funny with it. I have autism, I can say that. Same. Probably. I'm not officially diagnosed, but I'm pretty confident. You don't just hyperfixate on, like, one thing for long enough and then completely forget to do your college degree in favor of the one thing that you know isn't gonna earn you money, but it's just... It's just so silly and fun to do. Look at this poor man. Oh shit. Look at this poor man's face. Look at that fish. Look at these evil eyes. But, yeah, I definitely agree with, like, some of the, like, the headcanons about, like, the villagers and who has tism and who doesn't. I forgot what else I was gonna say. But yeah, Demetrius, I still haven't, like, played out a lot of stuff. I did get the cutscene where Robin builds that bed and she's like, look at this work of art. And Demetrius is like, I have no idea why you built this. And Robin is like, you fucking dumbass. It's called art. It's called craftsmanship. It's called making something aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And I'm fully on board with Robin on that one. What the fuck, Demetrius? How is that so hard to understand? Demetrius bought tomatoes when he was asked to get fruit. That is just being pedantic for the sake of it. Jesus Christ. My question- okay, look. I hope Robin gave him his tomato fruit salad. To be fair, tomato does belong in a salad, maybe just not a fruit salad. I'm like sniffly still. It's like in the back of my throat and I don't know what to do. I should drink more, alcoholic hot chocolate. That's what I should do. I hope I don't get banned for, like, alcoholism, because I'm joking, I don't actually drink that much. But yeah, no, because, like, I can't understand, like, being asked, like, hey, could you go to the store and buy some fruit? And then looking, like, at all, like, the sweet fruits, right? Like, strawberries, apples, bananas, and stuff like that. I can't imagine, like, looking at the array of fruits and everything, and the going, oh, I know, I'll get a tomato. That's just... That's intentional at that point. That's not even, like, a misunderstanding. That's intentional. And if anything, too, don't just buy the tomato. Buy, like, other fruits as well if you really want to make a point. I'm crashing out over some fictional video game character. I'm crying. Alright, while I figure out what is going on with my line art, how was your new year? Because, I got sick, I think? He knew it was for dessert or whatever, but he still got freaking tomatoes. See, that's what's the problem. That or he's really into that flavor. But that is the problem. If you know it's for a dessert, if you know it's for something sweet, why are you buying tomatoes? I don't even know what cutscene you're talking about, but I believe you. I should point at the camera, but I believe you. It's like, why would you also just get tomatoes? Why wouldn't you buy an assortment of fruits? That's what I don't get. You could still buy your tomatoes, just buy, like, other fruits, too. You guys have, like, a whole, like, lab up there. I know you can afford it. Beep. Look at my straight lines. Look at that. Also, I would be working on the chibis right now, but, I figured this would be, like, mildly funnier and entertaining to watch me, like, complain about a game that I barely know about. I just keep hearing the same things, like, oh, Demetrius, Pierre, Clint, and Mayor Lewis bad. All the moms, though? And I'm just like, guys, the moms are not okay, too. Oh, yeah, I heard about that one. The Abigail affair baby theory. I would buy into it more had it not been for the fact that it is confirmed that her natural hair color is the same as Pierre's or so. Like, I think that one line actually kind of debunks the whole thing. And I actually like the idea that Jazz is the wizard's daughter a lot better, but I don't know. I still don't know enough about the lore, but I do know that that other line about Abigail's original hair color exists. Anyways, let's draw some fingers. Also, Heike, how fucked up of Caroline to do that? That'd be, like, such an awkward, like, thing to, like, have on your chest. Like, how do I explain this? I personally think that the Caroline is the wizard's kid. Oh! Yeah, that one's definitely interesting. I wish I knew more about the wizard. He seems like an interesting kind of guy. I love his name too, Rasmodius. I was joking around with Johnny last night. Like, I gotta go say hi to the... I was doing something with the wizard. I think it was his birthday because we were in winter. I was like, I gotta bring this to the wizard, Rasmodius, Razzle Dazzle, Razmataz guy or something like that. I forget what I said. Yeah, I love that for him. His name is so cool. Like, she talks about being drawn to the tower, and a lot of people take that to mean she had an affair with him, but, like, that's not how you talk about your affair partner. Yeah, that's true. Also, her hair is naturally green. Yeah, I guess you do have to assume that it's green, huh? Because, she talks about Abigail dyeing her hair, but her hair is literally green, so it's like, Caroline, what are you smoking? And then she'll say, I'm not smoking because I'm a very, very, very good housewife, and I don't smoke. I think. I think I've gotten a very good grasp of her character based off my flawed knowledge of the game. Alright, I think that's Elliott's outlines done. And she brews arguably magic tea? And she vibes with the nature hardcore style. Ah, I see. Yeah, that's very, like, green witch stuff kind of thing. I see it. I see it. There should be a title on this book. What should it say? How? Let me put it on a separate layer at least. How to and there's an E here, but you can't see it. Escape social obligations. That would mean Rasmodis is, like, elderly, but maybe wizards age gracefully. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, if we... I should not be referencing D&D because Stardew does not take place in Faerun. But, like, I think in general, a lot of people like to, like, when it comes to, like, mythology and magic, a lot of people like to say, like, the more, like, in tune with, like, the spiritual world and nature you are, like, the younger you're generally going to, like, look and feel or something like that. So that might be something. Also, I wouldn't put it out of his way to, like, use his magic to, like, de-age himself, or maybe the magic, it's, like, the magic he uses is, like, very, like, preserving in a sense. I think that makes a lot of... I think that makes sense in my head. So, there's that. Alright. And then I said that I wanted to keep all the characters in a separate folder because this canvas, this is supposed to be like a thumbnail, right? But, the thumbnail was, if I put all 4 characters onto the same canvas as they were, it was gonna be way too big, and it would just, or way too wide, I mean. And, so I said, okay, well, let's just, both of us draw, like, the characters that we're going to draw, and then we'll put them all in separate layers, and we'll try to put them onto one canvas in, like, a better way. And I think that should work out, so that guy's done. I'm gonna illustrate myself now. Look at that. Let me also save. Also, I've been trying out the size 20 pen on Medibang for this. I am liking it way more than the 15, and I think this is just me slowly succumbing to the fact that my line art is inevitably going to get thicker and thicker until it just ends up taking up the whole canvas, and that is the art. That will be the line art. And speaking of line art, I would actually love to learn, like, ink-only mediums. I think that would be, like, really fun. Let me fix that. I'll fix this a little bit. Oh, another thing about Stardew, talking about the wizard and circling back to a different character, Abigail. I think when I first played, like, a few years ago, when I first got the game, I think part of me was like, oh, I like purple a lot, and Abigail seems like a cool character, so I want to romance her. And, I understand that Abigail is a very popular character, but I don't think I am ever gonna bring myself to, like, do, like, a full romance with her. And I was explaining this to Johnny, where it's like, Abigail just feels, like, so hilariously similar to me that it feels weird romancing her. Because it's kind of uncanny. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't mean this in like a, oh, I'm projecting to her kind of way. I mean, I mean it in the, like I'm a crystal girly, and, I literally play the flute. I have swords. I want to learn how to sword fight, because I think that would be hilarious. And, like, and then I get to her cutscenes, and I'm just like, this feels like I'm romancing myself, and I need to leave. And I just never picked it back up again. And for a while, a lot of the, like, marriage candidates never really, like, appealed to me that much, because it was just like, who are these people? It's okay, we found the perfect one, though, and it's the one that I'm gonna give copious amounts of fish to every single day. Not every single day. But, numerous times a week. I romanced Haley once. She's honestly really sweet. I heard that too. Like, she really, like, softens up later in her romance, which is a really nice arc, and I appreciate that. Also, the only other thing I know about Haley is all the Good Luck Babe edits of her. It's like, both her and Alex are like the closeted gays of Stardew Valley. Shoutouts to the farmer for being everyone's bisexual awakening. Kinda rough to get to know her, but she has so much character growth. Yeah, I love that. I love when characters are like that. I know when I was playing with my ex a few years ago, one of the characters that I wasn't necessarily romancing, but I was like friendshipping, I guess, was Shane. I loved Shane's like character arc so much. It's like such a sweet turnaround, and I loved it. He's genuinely one of my favorite characters, and I'm sad that so many players seem to like hate him. I'm like, no, he got better. And I think it's because a lot of people think it's just alcohol abuse, and I'm like, it's not just alcohol abuse, it's depression. It's actually really interesting because all the characters are player sexual, but they do have implied sexuality sometimes. Yeah, like, I know with Leah, it's interesting because, if you play as a girl, it's cool because she's like canonically queer, because rather than have like rather than have what's their name, Kel, rather than have them be like one gender, it changes depending to match the player character, which is interesting. So when you play as a girl and you romance Leah, Leah's just gay, which is cool. But I think I personally would have liked it if Kel was just one gender, and it was kind of like, you just, I think it would have been cooler to see, like, to play more into, like, Leah being, bisexual, rather, because I think that's just kind of, like, a sweet thing, to have, because I think bi erasure is one of, like, the most criminal things that, modern society does. It's like, oh, well, if you're bisexual, you're actually just gay, and it's like, no, you're not, but, you know, that's a whole thing. I did Shane in the beginning as well, but a friend of mine dated him and told me about his personality, and then I changed my view. George is a bit homophobic if you marry Alex as a guy, but he gets over it, yeah. Rip George. But yeah, no, I love Shane. Welcome! How was your new year? It's good to see the familiar faces of the channel. It's very comforting and it's very silly. But yeah, I loved Shane. I think people are just upset because his room is a mess, and I'm like, girl, I'm put together and my room is a mess. Like, oh, what are you on about? I feel like the criticisms against Shane are such, like, non-issues, but people turn them into such, like, huge issues, and it's like, they're not. So, like, big ouchies for the Shane community. Also, he loves chickens. I don't know about you guys. I told Johnny this. Shane strikes me as the kind of guy who would go like John Wick if somebody ever like hurt one of his chickens. He feels like that kind of person. Oh, my New Year was nice, not a lot happened, but that means nothing bad happened too. Oh, that's great. You know, sometimes it's important to have a boring New Year and just realize like, hey, there actually isn't much changing, and this is just another day, another step forward, and that's okay. It doesn't need to be like some big grandeur, or big display of like grandeur and everything. I want to date Alex because apparently he's very sweet in a gay relationship. He's kind of misogynistic if you're a girl in this start. One of my family members is also named Alex, so I just can't do- oh, mood. Yeah, that would do it for me too. Yeah, I think if any of the bachelors were named like Johnny or Clive, I would have just killed myself on- no. I would have just like exited the game on the spot, like, nope, not happening. That'd be way too weird for me. It's the same thing with Abigail. I can't romance her. She feels too similar to me. I feel like I'm romancing myself, and I'm not super into that, unfortunately. She's a great character, and I recognize that. But I do not... It's hilarious how, again, so unintentionally similar we are, and I'm like, oops. Let me just not. Elliott, though, I've been thoroughly enjoying this romance, mostly because it's very stupid. And I love his cutscenes too. They're like, there's like one cutscene that's like low-key misogynistic, but it never comes up again anyway, so it's like, I guess I'll let it slide. It's like whatever. I would have chosen the wine anyways. I hate beer. I wish I could enjoy beer. Cal Poly, the college I went to, we had a brew works on the campus, or maybe just a little bit off the campus. Oh my god. Best pizza and best beer I have ever had. And I want to go there again so badly. It's just the one thing too is that I also don't like beer. Yes, I'm still watching. Which again is just terribly unfortunate. And like, when I say that it's the best beer I ever had, it's kind of like, it's the beer that tastes the least like piss. So, that's kind of where I am with it. I like other alcohols, just not beer, unfortunately. And whiskey. Whiskey's another one I don't really like. It's just like, it's too spicy, I think. Like, vodka is nice because it's just kind of like straight up alcohol, and it's just like there's not like a lot of flavor to it, so you can use it in a lot of drinks. I think whiskey is just like very spicy, very strong, very I don't want to taste it in my drink. I honestly just love the somewhat realistic career rep, and the disability rep is also pretty good. It had some issues in the very beginning, but Concerned Ape responded to the criticism amazingly and fixed basically everything. Well, almost everything. I think there are definitely like some small changes he can still make still, but I'm not gonna like harp on the guy too much, because it's like, well, he's already making another game. And like, I think it'd be hard to add more characters to Stardew Valley, realistically. But like, I think it just needs like more like people of color representation. and I think at the beginning, rather than just choose your gender, you should be able to choose your pronouns. I think that would be way more inclusive, but I can also understand, like, that would kind of low-key mess with some of the dialogue trees, so can't be too upset about that, I guess. Like, if you're a programmer, you know, it's like, yes, I would like to fix this thing, but if I fix this thing, here's the horrendous mess of spaghetti code I have to sort in order to fix the thing. So it's like, yeah. I'm sure Haunted Chocolatier, though, I'm sure he's probably gonna, like, do some things that he probably wishes he could do with Stardew Valley. It's just Stardew Valley is already so big, I cannot imagine, like, how programming in that game would go. And this is, again, someone speaking as, like, someone who was a computer science major. That would hurt. Like, that would be painful. Anyways. Awkward silences aside. A few things are kind of sketchy, but it's definitely sometimes a character flaw. Like with George and Penny event, she gets mad if you side with George, but that's not an issue with the game being ableist. It's a problem with Penny. You know what? That's a good point. That is a very good point. It's not a concerned ape thing, it's a Penny thing. Maybe she is supposed to be like that. I know Harvey has like a similar scene because I got the cutscene, and it's like, I feel like I can excuse it with him just a little bit more because doctors are kind of supposed to act in the best interest of the patient. And what am I supposed to do? Like, as a doctor, what are you supposed to do when the patient is being like, no, I don't want to do this thing that is good for my health? And it's like, I would walk out. I would walk out personally. I was not meant to be a doctor. But the Penny thing, yeah, that is like that was way more egregious. I also wish I could like Penny more. It's gonna, you guys will see it when Johnny does join stream for Tuesday, for Tuesdays, because it's gonna be really funny. But let's see, he doesn't hate Penny, but he gets so mad with her front facing talk sprite. It's so funny. Like he gets not violent. Violent would be an overstatement, but it is funny to say violent, if you know what I mean. Like, and, you know, I have to agree with him too, because like, her character design is arguably like good, right? There's nothing wrong with it. Her 3/4 sprite looks perfectly fine. I don't understand why her front-facing sprite... I don't know what to make of it. It's just not good. I maxed out Penny's hearts like 5 times, but I never married her. That should explain my relationship with her. I'll just do like, or if we're just really good friends, that's all it is. I like when characters are flawed, especially good characters. It's more realistic. Yeah, it's absolutely more realistic. I think people just like really want these characters to be like perfect because one, you're romancing them, so I guess yeah, that's fair. And two, it's like I feel like people get like used to like characters just not being flawed sometimes, so that's the expectation. When in reality, the flawed characters are some of the best characters that are ever written. Yeah, I watched a video on like an analysis into Penny's like, what's it called? Penny's character and everything. She's a good character, but in the same way that in the same way that like white bread is like good. It's not like revolutionary, I think. I think she's a very sweet person, but I do kind of agree that it's a little like a little bland, but it's not bad. I guess we do have to appreciate the bland characters every now and then. If Elliot wasn't such a dweeb, I wouldn't love him nearly as much. I love him not despite, but because of his flaws. He's just so funny to me. Um, and I sometimes I don't like to use like bigger or I guess smarter sounding words to sound pretentious. 99% of the time I'm using it to sound like ironic. Like when I say something like, oh, the depths of my stupidity are like vast and unknown. I am using that specifically to punch myself down, but at the same time, push myself up, because I think it's a lot funnier that way. And Elliot kind of like reads that way to me, where he's really like self-aware of it, and he probably knows he sounds very goofy, but he like fully accepts that, and he thinks it's, and I love that about him. Also like that I also feel kind of bad for him sometimes, because like in that 8 heart event where he's like reading to the where he's like reading to like the people in the library, literally all of them just leave, and it's like, bro. I felt bad, but it's like, well, you can't expect your first thing to be the best thing you've ever made, I guess. And I like that. I like that. It's very realistic, honestly. Um, I've talked online already. Like, I want to table at a con this year. Like, for sure, I'm going to make prints. I'm gonna make stickers and other types of marketable merch of some kind. And I am high-key expecting it to flop, because I recognize that art is ridiculously hard to sell, and I'm sure there's like a lot of other artists out there with like higher quality stuff than me, but I want to do it. I want to be able to put my face and my name and my art out there. Penny's fine. She is not the most exciting compared to the other bachelorettes, especially like Abigail or Haley. Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel for her, right? Because that is an awful situation to be in, like her and Pam. But it's like, she just feels so, not complacent, but she just feels so like I have one mode and it's this. It's very, it just feels very like, it's like when girls write like, it's like when girls write fan fiction about themselves, and they're like, they always make themselves like the main character. They're so shy. They're like, oh, I wonder if like anyone's ever gonna like notice me. Just a lifetime supply of vanilla ice cream, no other flavor. Exactly. But you know what? Vanilla is pretty good, and vanilla is also why we love Gale and Will from Baldur's Gate, because they are very, very good husbands. Astarion's funny, yes, but have you considered the sheer comfort and joys of domestic life with Will or Gale? One of the two. I've only done Astarion's romance. I don't really remember how the other two go. I should play Baldur's Gate on stream one day, but I'm probably gonna play Ares File again and romance Astarion again. I have like plans that I want to do for that, but that's like, those are pretty ambitious for where I'm at right now. I would need like to dedicate time to that. Because something that I thought would be really, really fun for a Baldur's Gate playthrough is because Aerie, my little D&D Blorbo, is such a fleshed out character. I think it'd be really cool if I had found a way to like do like my own custom cutscenes, not necessarily in game, but sort of like animatic, rough kind of thing. But I also don't know how to animate, so I would also like them to be voiced. I don't really know a lot of voice actors. So here we are again with hilarious dilemmas. I'm sure I could reach out. Rose server probably has like a number of people who would be very like willing to like do those roles. But that's like, again, a lot later down the line when I have time and money to do that. Vanilla's great. Gale is so sweet. The scene where he shows you the weave and you do spells together is so romantic. It is! I love that scene. I was this close to romancing him. But I think in my head, for Aerie, because, you know, I do have to roleplay as her when I played Baldur's Gate 3, it was, like, way too soon for her. Like, it wasn't something that she was, like, ready to jump into. Especially since Gale was, like, a very, like, sweet guy. It was, like, I don't want to, like, jump into this, and it turns out I'm not into that. Aerie's like that. She's impulsive, but she is thoughtful at the same time. Astarion was just, like, the funny enemies to lovers comedy, trope. How do I usually say it on Twitter? Enemies to enemies with benefits, to friends with benefits, to friends to lovers. There we go. That's the best kind of romance, in my opinion. I also need to remember to drink this, otherwise it's just gonna be cold. People who say Will and Gale are boring, they can... that is a romance I can get behind! It's so funny. I would send, like if you play D&D, you know, like, you have, like, your session recaps and everything. So I would do the same thing for Baldur's Gate and let my cousin know, like, hey, this is where I'm at in the game. One of my favorite things to do, however, was writing, like, also, if I didn't have a potato mic, I would offer to voice something. Aw, that's nice. I like my fictional romances to be a little bit toxic, to be honest. I'm easily bored and I need drama. Real. That's what we love fiction for. But no, one of my favorite things to do when I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 was write, like, little, like, dialogues between Aerie and Astarion. And the way I wrote them is so, like... let me see if I can find a really good one. Look at me on my phone again during stream. The teacher should take it away from me. I should not have this. Gaming. What was a good one? I need to find it. Trying to remember some really good ones. I had a really funny one. Oh, I remember the mirror scene one. Let me get that one out. Yeah, I had just gotten the mirror scene in camp where Astarion is like looking at himself, and then you could say like a number of things to him, right? In my head, part of it kind of went like this. It's like, what are you doing here? Can't you see I'm admiring myself? And then Aerie's just like, no. As a matter of fact, I cannot. And then like if this was like an actual cutscene, it's just a hard cut to like both of them standing in front of a mirror with only Aerie's reflection present. Like that is their dynamic. That is their dynamic. And I had like a bunch of those written up. I can't find them all. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but like that was some of the most fun I had writing a shipping pair. When I say enemies to enemies with benefits, to friends with benefits, to lovers or something like that, that's what I mean. Oh, that is pretty nice. Hey, sometimes you gotta make your own fun. It is fun. It is a lot of fun. I love doing that. It's very good for the soul, I think. Yeah, and I used to make comics based off, like, the dialogues I wrote, too. They're all, like, very old and outdated art. But, like, I enjoyed those a lot, and I think, part of the reason why I do, like, the big posters and everything is, kind of because they're, like, endurance tests for me, if that makes sense. I like to push myself, because I want to be able to, like, keep improving and everything, so one big thing that I know I want to do is comic work. But sitting down for comics is tough because, rather than making one drawing, in a sense, you are making... Oh, Jesus, that's a bot. Hang on. Get out of here. Should be able to... ban. There we go. Get out of here, bot. We don't need that. But anyways, if you think about it, one page of, like, a comic, right? Each panel... Spam bot, that means you're getting big! Oh my god, we're moving up! Oh my, that is a good sign, huh? It's a good sign that the bots are finding me. But, one comic page, if you think about it. Every single panel, remember when you're famous? Of course! But every single panel is its own drawing, right? So it's like, in the same way that animation is like different drawings like layered on top of each other to create the illusion of movement, comic pages are the same thing, but with a little bit less. But that still means you're drawing like multiple things onto one thing. And that's a lot. So I did the big illustrations as a way to like push myself to do like something really big, so when I finally do the comic pages, it doesn't feel nearly as like daunting of a task. And it worked! It worked. I made like a ton of pages. I had a 9-page comic based off a fan fiction I wrote like a year ago. Like, I don't know how, because I never went to an art school or anything. Everything I do is like self-taught delirium. The most, it does work. I don't know how you actually get better at like sitting down and working on big projects other than keep pushing yourself to do bigger and bigger projects. So that's where I'm at. And again, it worked for me. I don't know if it would work for anyone else, but that was my advice. Johnny, I think, has asked me like the same thing, like, Kyra, how do you just like like how do you set up like scenes, how do you do comics? He asks me a lot of things because intuitively I know a lot. Like, I've done writing before, I obviously do art. But yeah, I've written fanfic before, so I know how to like, I know like some literature conventions, even if I can't say what those conventions are off the top of my head. I know about art still, obviously, because somehow this online career is kind of working out. So he asks me sometimes, and I never actually know how to like put it other than like with examples. But yeah, getting used to drawing a lot is just one of those things that you kind of have to force yourself to do, I think, just because it is a lot, and you just kind of have to accept that it is a lot. It's kind of like getting up for work. You wake up in the morning, and like, it sucks, because it's like, I don't want to go into work because it's work, and work sucks. But then you actually get to work, the shift actually isn't like all that bad, and you're like, okay, well, I was bed rotting and dreading this for nothing. Fanfiction is my jam. I personally like fixing things. Plot holes don't survive near me. Oh, thank goodness. I like to write very like short stories and very I like to keep it a little constrained just because I'm so worried about plot holes sometimes. And sometimes in my head I'm just like, maybe I just shouldn't worry about it. Or maybe it could be like... Oh, you know what? What's one thing that I really love? I don't really think I'm a strong writer, but I am a very, very passionate world builder. Except world building is definitely one of those things where plot holes can kind of come up, like, very easily, like, hilariously easily. For example, the world that I'm building. Oh, how come all the adventures don't just, what, did my camera freeze? Hang on. Yeah, I caught that. Like, in the world that I'm trying to write in for a comic, I'm really trying. It's like, oh, how come all the adventures just don't go around in cars? How come there's no roads between cities? It's like, oh, because there were very strong acts of like protest and everything and eco-terrorism, and all of the corporations had to back down because the goddess herself erupted from the earth and put everyone in their places because, again, this is a world governed by gods. I can do what I want. I also write self-insert fanfiction because I like fictional men more than real men. Yeah, ain't that a mood? Fictional men just hit different. Self-insert is fun. I haven't done that in a while. I mean, Aerie, I project a lot onto Aerie, but like, I still try to keep like a lot of differences. I think me and her are very, very different at the end of the day. Similar, but still pretty like distinguishable. I used to write so much self-insert when I was in high school. I miss those days. Those were the days when I was writing about me and my fictional serial killer boyfriend, who was a creepypasta, and once again, it circles back to Jeff the Killer because of course it does. I need to do something for that one day. I need a Jeff the Killer themed stream. I'm trying to think of one in my head, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far I can take it before it becomes way too out of hand. I never wrote or read fan fiction. That's fair. It's not for everyone. I enjoy it because, one, it's a great way to, like, support, like, more independent writers who aren't publishing books, because it's so much more funny to, like, write about, like, these little characters who already exist, I think. It's very, like, it's very fulfilling to read fan fiction, personally. So there's that. I need to do more art streams again. I'm like out of practice talking and drawing at the same time. This is never gonna get done. I think over the weekend I'll work on like the chibi prizes because I know I should be working on them right now, but again, I think the Stardew one would be a lot funnier for stream. Just because there's a little bit more to talk about with it too. Ooh, yeah, actually, if I don't have the eyelashes out there, I should probably hide them over here. Yeah, smart. In my novel, I just decided explosion stopped working because I needed to get rid of guns. Real. No, I can never get rid of guns in a fanfic. I would put so many of them. I would give Elliott from Stardew Valley a gun. I think he would benefit from it greatly. I just got an ad. Or I got an ad just when you were responding to my fanfiction comment, and I'll never know if you approve of my fanfiction. No, I approve. I promise I approve. I don't want to ask you guys to buy subs, because one, that feels scummy of me, and two, it's not like I'm subscribed to a lot of Twitch streamers either, so it would feel very disingenuous. that is unfortunately the only way to go adless on Twitch, if you pay them. If somehow you guys find an ad blocker that works on Twitch, use it. I do not care if I am not getting ad revenue from you guys, because to be honest, I would rather have it so you guys don't have to watch ads at all. It's just unfortunately I also wanted emotes. I have nothing against fanfiction. I was just never introduced to that side of the internet until I was like 20, and then it was kind of too late. I mean, it's never too late technically. There's like people in their 30s who like reading fanfiction. I just hate losing my place in the convo, but sadly I have no money. It's never too late for fanfiction. Exactly! And speaking of losing my place in the conversation, I completely forgot what I was talking about before I went on the ad tangent. Does anyone remember? If you think about it too, Dante's Inferno is also a self-insert, so it really isn't too late. Like, I don't know how much you guys know about, like, Dante's Inferno and his circle, and his journey through, like, the 9 circles of everything. Yeah, so much of old literature is Bible fanfic. It's beautiful. Fanfiction has been a thing since the ancient times. Oh yeah, world building. Yeah. So I really love world building. Unfortunately, world building is just like you have to answer so many questions. And I forget the answer to some questions sometimes. My hot chocolate is now like mildly cold chocolate. But yeah. One world building thing that I decided to do. I wanted to make it so like if you were to choose like a D&D class to be like the acting police force in the world, there's no reason to not go with paladins. So I was writing like a one-shot for the store because I thought it would be cool like if the team did like a little murder mystery, but I have to explain like, oh, how come like the local law enforcement isn't doing it? And it's like they were, it's just they've lost privilege to do that because in order to find more clues, we had to reanimate this corpse, and this broke the paladin's oath, so therefore they're not a paladin, and they technically no longer have jurisdiction to do the investigation, but they can hire the people from an Adventurers Guild to do it, which I thought was a neat thing. I thought that was a good workaround for that plot hole. Maybe. I just never had an interest in it and never really set it up because my weird head doesn't like things enough to seek out more. That's also a huge mood. People would be like, oh, you'd love this show, and I'm just like, yeah, you're right, I would. I really would, wouldn't I? I think Clive's like that too, where both of us just kind of have like the things we like and we don't really seek out too much outside of it. And it takes a lot to like get us to go digging. And I do like my comfort bubble of D&D and what other random stuff I decide to blend into the D&D. Like again, I still need to finish watching Dungeon Meshi, cause my cousin is like, you'll really like it, Kyra, and I'm like, you're right, I really do like it. It's just, it's so hard for me to like get into new things, and it's so sad. I wish I could. Like, Arcane Season 2 is another one. I still haven't watched it. I don't know if it held up from the first season, though. I kind of feel like I was hearing, like, some things that it didn't. But I'm not sure. It's a lot easier for me to, like, seek new things out if I have, like, friends doing it, too. It's, like, it's like, entirely part of the reason why I have to play Stardew Valley with Johnny. Otherwise, I'm only playing, like, an eighth of Stardew Valley at any given time. Because, again, that fishing minigame is addictive. That was me with Arcane. Amazing show, 10 out of 10, one of the best I've ever seen. But I just never sought out fanfiction or alternative endings because I was fine with the ending. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. Uh, I think it's only when I'm like really dissatisfied with the show that I might like really like try to seek out like a thing, or season 2 is great. Could use a few more episodes with really good stuff. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, and welcome 5 viewers. Hello, hello. I'm Pigeon Kerr, or Kerr, or Kyra. You could use my full name. Oh hey, someone new followed. Thank you for the follow. Green Cat Zero Cool. Oh man, I should really make like little like announcer things. I wish I knew how to do that, but I don't. Yeah, we're vibing. We're making a Stardew thumbnail for stream. My Twitch streams are basically either me playing the game or me making the thumbnail that I'm supposed to post when I am playing the game. It's usually one of the two. But yeah, I know with Umbrella Academy Season 4, look at me, finding my train of thought again. Me and Johnny were so, like, dissatisfied with the ending. Because it was just really bad. And, like, I was scrolling on Twitter, like, okay guys, how are you guys rewriting the end of Season 4? Because the frustrating thing about it was that it was... I also got a follower? I don't stream on this account, though. Oh, interesting. A ghost. Very interesting. Not sure what to make of that. But they have cool in their name, so surely they're like cool, like actually chill, like actually a cool guy, right? They wouldn't lie to me. I just streamed to myself real. I used to do that, but I was like, I want to do more. I like doing this. It's like a Discord call, but I have to read the messages instead. But yeah, Umbrella Academy Season 4 was such a huge disappointment. I was so sad. And again, it's not even that... my thing was that you can still make, like, the whole, sacrifice ending work. Do you think they followed everyone watching the stream, or maybe just every single account on Twitch? You know what? If they're following every single account on Twitch, Godspeed, because, there are a lot of users on Twitch, and I think that would be incredible if they did follow everyone on Twitch. This really does feel like a Discord call, except that we can't talk. Yeah. I should make a server, but I'm also kind of scared to make a server because I've seen what online servers are like sometimes. If you guys don't know, because I always forget if I mentioned this or not, Clive is a Discord mod, it's like a Discord server for, like, an adjacent, like, Gmod server. Some of the stuff that I hear on there is just so, like, I don't understand how he puts up with it. It's literally just babysitting, and it's like, I don't want to babysit people. Like, I trust the community enough, right, to, like, not be stupid. Sometimes you just never know, and you're just there, like, being online is so difficult. All the power to them. I wish them well. May their quest to follow everyone go smoothly. I agree. I hope they find every single account on Twitch and they follow them. And hey, it helps out everyone at the end of the day. But yeah, again, I would like to make a Discord server. I don't think it'd be super active. I feel like I would be too shy to even, like, talk on my own server. And I feel like a lot of my followers are probably the kind of people where it's like, someone has to message them first. And I am that way. And all my friends are unfortunately that way. So that's exactly why all the servers are joined kind of, like, end up dying. I also just kind of don't want to, like, put up with, like, basic internet issues because people don't know how to behave on the internet. I trust my community, but when you open a Discord server, sometimes it's like, who's joining and what do I do? Oh, I am too nervous to even write on Twitter. Biggest mood. Yeah, maybe one day. I would invite Clive to moderate for me. I think he'd do well in like an 18 plus server where people act noticeably more mature than the other people on that other Discord server, because oh boy, again, some of the stories, it's like, Clive, how have you not like actually gone insane yet? Clive's like really sweet about it too. I think one of the main reasons why he stays is because he really wants to make sure like all the kids on there are like safe. Which is so sweet of him, but I'm also like, Clive, you need to get out of there. That server has like so many issues sometimes, and I would go insane if I existed in that space. He has like, not really funny stories, but they're just like, it's... I always forget what it's like being around teenagers sometimes, because I don't hang out with teenagers, right? Okay, well, no. I hang out with, like, one teenager, and that's because he's my coworker. And, like, I have to take him to lunch sometimes, because sometimes his parents don't, like, feed him. So that's what happens. And, like, I always forget how, like, immature some teenagers can be. Because, like, so, it's Gmod, right? You can have, like, NSFW skins, but you can, like, set it to where only certain people can see, like, the horny skin that you put on. Which, great on the Gmod devs for doing that, by the way. That's, like, that is a smart move. It may not be a perfect move, but it is a smart one. And, there was this kid. I hear NSFW skin, I know it will be terrible. You know it's terrible when you hear the words Discord server, Gmod server, NSFW, and teenagers all in the same space. Like, that's when you know it's bad. Honestly, I could have stopped at Gmod and you would have known it's bad. But anyways, there was this kid who got really upset that he couldn't see, like, the adults, like, NSFW skins. And he took it to the mods, like, I am so mature that the rules shouldn't apply to me. I should be allowed to see some anime titties and furry titties. And the mod that the guy was that the kid was writing to was just like, and me and Clive were also just like, this, if you're mature, if you are mature, you follow the rules. Like, you understand why the rules are there. Like, do I hate rules sometimes? Yes, because sometimes they do feel stupid, but I understand why they're there, so I'm gonna listen to them. Right? So it's like, I'm so glad I'm in a space that's like pretty much only adults. It's like, what? If I have to deal with a Discord server with a bunch of teenagers, I'm quitting the internet. That's all I have to say. There was this other kid, I'm not even gonna say kid. This guy's technically an adult, but he is a very young adult, and I understand the mindset that he probably had going into this, but it was still wrong. Very, very wrong. There was this guy who, for some reason, kept thinking it was, like, funny to, like, as a spray, like, have an NSFW spray and then just show it to children on, like, an anarchy server. And it's like, dude, stop! Like, no! The guy's, like, maybe a little bit younger than me, but it's like, so I understand, I get it. Sometimes you're 16, and you're friends with, like, 14 to 13-year-olds, maybe because, like, they're, like, younger cousins or something, or you just had, like, a weird age gap when you were, like, kids. So I understand it. I understand, like, being, like, 19, or I can see, like, the thought process, right? Like, if you're 19, and you think it's okay to, like, act like this around, like, kids still, but it's not. And it's like, bro, you want to stop being incriminating right now? I like kids, but I can't help but take on a parental role, and that's just exhausting. Yeah. But, like, I am incapable of just minding my own business if a kid is making a bad decision or getting into trouble. Yeah, I get it. You're better than me. I think the one time I had to, like, sort of, like, look after small children, only sort of, was, like, when I was with my ex, because he had, like, 2 younger, cousins, like, really young cousins, right? Or niece and nephew, actually. They're like 8, and they would just like drag me around the house like, Kyra, look at this, and I'm like, oh, okay. What are you doing standing on the top of the couch like that? Are you gonna jump? And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna jump head first into the floor, and I'm like, I'll look around like, should I stop this kid? But yeah. There was this other time at Carl's, I think it was actually roughly around, like, Christmas or something. It might have been Christmas Day, actually. But some grandpa was with his grandkids, and I'm cleaning the chairs in the dine. Technically, fast food workers, we are not responsible for your children. We are not your babysitters, so do not treat us like babysitters. But also, I wasn't doing anything too much because it was really slow Christmas Day. It was also really slow New Year's Day. I'm very thankful for that. Because I was not looking forward to, like, getting flooded with customers on a holiday where I could have been at home. But the granddad's just like, yeah, this young lady will watch you while I take your sister to the bathroom. And I'm just there like, I mean, if you say so. I guess I can't say no at this point, because he didn't ask me. He didn't ask me or anything. So I'm just, like, cleaning the chair legs, and this kid's just walking around, like, following me around the store, like, look at my socks. Aren't they dirty? I'm like, yeah. I hope you don't take those inside. Like, I guess some people will say I'm good with children, and I'm just like, no, I just don't know how to talk to them, and the kids take full advantage of that. Oh, speaking of Christmas, I should tell you guys my favorite Christmas story. This is gonna be so sad. I'm like a very, like, I was a very imaginative little girl when I was young. I was very, like, how should I put it? I was very, not gullible, but I was very much a child when I was a child, which I guess you can't blame. But then I always hear, like, some kids say, like, oh, I stopped believing in Santa when I was, like, 4, and I was like, wow, you're really lucky that you stopped believing in Santa before your parents broke the bad news to you. I must have a really trustworthy look to me, because I have random strangers ask me to watch their kid every now and then, which is odd because I'm punk as hell and I'm not a regular looking guy. No mood. It's like you see you see me, right? Like, when I look in the mirror, I see the same person, right? I don't know. But yeah, I won't, like, get mad at a kid, but I'll definitely, like, be there, and I will just not know how to deal with them. But anyways, yeah, to everyone who stopped believing in Santa when they were, like, 5, I'm very happy for you, because I cannot say the same for me, sort of. This is, like, there's, like, low-key a reason why I'm not a super big, like, Christmas girly. Like, I recognize some people really love the holiday, and they're really passionate about it. But I'm not, and I know the sweater says otherwise, but it has a big D20 on it. What am I gonna do, not wear it? It's warm. Let me save. I think I haven't saved this file in a little while. But my mom, this is the first Christmas of my memory. Like, this is the childhood Christmas that I remember, unfortunately. It's Christmas morning. I'm like 4 or 5 years old, and I'm super excited because it's like, oh man, I'm gonna see Santa on Christmas morning, or something like that. Santa's not there, obviously. And I'm like asking my mom, like, Mom, where's Santa? I thought he was supposed to be here on Christmas Day. And she's like, oh, Kyra, Santa's not real. And I'm like, what? It's like, and she's like, yeah, Kyra, Santa's not real. I was so sad for the entire day. I was like legitimately depressed. Like I think I was like hoping that I would be so sad that I would manifest Santa into existence. But of course that never happened. And then like I had to ask my mom like who is Santa? Why isn't he real? And she's like, oh, Kyra, Santa can be a lot of people. And I didn't know what that meant as a child, because, like, genuinely, what does that mean? Like, I guess it kind of means, like, oh, well, Santa's just, like, the spirit of Christmas, and, like, you can find that in anybody. Or she's referring to all the mall Santas that get to have the children sit on their lap. That's, like, the first Christmas I ever remember. And not to say that the holiday's been ruined for me ever since then, but it's like... It's like, why is that one of my core memories? Like, how come everyone has to have, like, that quintessential, like, childhood Christmas, and then I get depression? It's just a funny story. So yeah, thankfully I did not tell that kid in Carl's Jr. that Santa isn't real. I'm spiteful, but not that spiteful. What about you guys? When did you guys stop believing in Santa? Because I swear, I think like everyone who was like my age at school, it was so like frustrating because all of them would be like Santa. I stopped believing in Santa like a year ago, and they're like the same age as me, and I'm like, I'm glad you got the memo. I don't know. I think people just like did not like me when I was little. They must have thought I was weird. Well, guess what? I'm still weird, but I stay winning. Clothing wrinkles. What? Right. I think this is the Egg Festival, right? No, this is Sam's band. Oh! Oh yeah, huh. I guess he would perform at some point. I haven't gotten that hard event yet. I was wondering what this was. You could just tell him to play country. That's so funny. Alright, let's keep going. Oops. I need to remember to like tab back into Medibang before I start drawing. Otherwise I get like that random streak again. Oh yeah, another thing I was really sad to learn about. I was on the Stardew wiki, and I was hoping that they had some sort of like devil horn headband that I could put on my character so that, you know, it's like lore accurate or something like that. They don't, and I was like, no! How am I supposed to be a silly little tiefling in the game now? I guess I should just find a mod for it at this point. Which probably won't be that bad. I'm sure there's like more hat mods and stuff. If there's anything that's like more popular than just expansion mods, it's cosmetic mods. Baldur's Gate has taught me that, at least. I'm honestly excited to learn like the ink only medium. I don't remember what it's called. I know there's a name for it, but I know it's used in like a lot of comic books and everything. It looks so fun to work with, but I think I low-key need to like change my style just a little bit for that, because I don't think it's gonna work that well. I feel like my lines are just gonna get thicker in every single year. I feel like there's just so many artists online, and all of them use like really thin outlines, and I'm just like, I can't see it! It's not there, and I want to see the outlines, because I love it. I love line depth, I love using like differences in line weight to like convey different like details. Like this kind of stuff right here, like thicker outlines on everything, but then like this seam has like a thinner line. It's so simple, but it's so effective, and I love it. Or sometimes the seam line is a little bit thicker, and it's like, oh, what does that mean now? But you would honestly, you wouldn't use it on like a space like that. You would use it like here. This is like a good example of something that you can make, like a seam line you could make a little thicker. It's the anime influence. Thin line art is honestly a pretty modern trend in the West. Yeah. It sucks, because it's like, I feel like old comics were big on thick line weight. Yeah, exactly. That's what I love about my art style, and I love other art styles that like do this exact same thing, because it's so good in my opinion. Like, to convey like different stuff with different line depth, I think is like, I miss it. You don't see it anymore. And it just kind of sucks that, like, art trends... Oh, hi, Kira! Welcome! We're all here. We're all vibing today. But yeah, it's... The thing about art trends is that they're fun to, like, follow and everything. But I think my issue with art trends is that, like... It's not that every art style starts looking the same, but it's like they all, like, stem from the same thing. So it's like... They kind of just naturally start to look the same, and it starts to get just a little boring. It's it's just sad, I think. Like, I think everyone wants to do what's trendy, and I think when you start to treat it like that, it starts to lose, like, a lot of, like, uniqueness to it. Which, again, I will always, like, say this. I love art styles that, like, are infinitely, like stand out, more than like, you can have the most, like, Van Gogh, beautiful, whatever, Renaissance painting. Like, that's great. You're incredibly skilled for doing that, and you did produce, like, something that is, like, definitively beautiful. But I think it's so much more valuable when people go out to create something that is, like, uniquely them. Like, I love that my art style screams, like, this is my art style, and there's nothing else like that. Well, not nothing else like it, but, you know, it's different. And I like that mine is different. I like that mine is very, very niche and not for everyone. Speaking of not for everyone, I was worried today that I was gonna get into, like, a Twitter argument. Like, I do try to stay out of drama because I think that's just, I think it's bad. I like watching drama from a distance, but I don't like actually getting involved in it. So I got worried that today that was gonna happen. One of my moots on Twitter hosted an art share. And I was like, oh, I'll share my New Year's art because that's like my latest one, right? And they had responded like, oh, your art style isn't pretty, but I like the effects you use. And I'm like, girl, what? So I was just like, thanks for like the backhanded compliment, I guess. And she's like, oh, I was just being honest. And I'm like, honesty is a great thing, but an art share thread is kind of meant to uplift artists. So when you're telling them that their art style isn't pretty, you're kind of doing the opposite. Yeah, right! Right, that is not how you reply. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so bad with words. And I'm like, that's okay. Just choose your words more carefully next time. Sing the praises that you like about their art style, not what you don't like, because nobody asked. Nobody wants to see that. And like, you know, I'm not too upset about it, but it was like a little hurtful. Like, again, I get it, my art style isn't for everyone. It's okay that you don't like it. But I think you've missed the point of the thread. If all else fails, just make a vaguely German-sounding second account to hype yourself to Lamau. Imagine. I don't know how I would say pigeon in German, but imagine that. With like different with a different 3-letter word following after an underscore. No, they're like, I think they're like 16 or 17, so they're like super young. So it's like, I don't wanna, so it's like, I'm not gonna say the username, but, so, and I don't want to lead like a hate train against them, because it's like, well, they're a teenager, they're young, they're gonna say something stupid, they're not gonna like understand, like the point of the thread, and everything. So, you know, there's a place for constructive criticism, but randomly pointing out things you don't like is not okay. Yeah, it's like, it really isn't. Okay, let me put it this way. If I wanted to be criticized on the internet, I will put in bold text, guys, roast the shit out of my art so I know which areas that I want to improve on. I would say that. But like, if I'm posting on an art share, I am posting with the purpose, or with the idea that that OP is going to like uplift my art. So it's like, why would you say that? If it helps, I think your art is unique and memorable. It's really charming. Not only that, but you're improving so fast. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, improvement is like so fun to like do. I love looking at all the progress. Like the art summaries that I saw like everywhere. Like, it's so cool to like to watch artists improve, because it's like, yes, you're getting it. You're getting where you want to be. And I think that's the beautiful thing about art improvement. Maybe the goal that you have in mind isn't clear. Maybe you don't exactly know what you want your art to look like concretely. Like, you can't put it on paper because you don't have the skills to put it on paper yet. But like, as you improve, like, what is in your head is suddenly like much more clearer on the screen now, and it's like yes, you're getting there. I'm so proud of you. I love the art shares for that. I also just love when artists talk about their art, because I don't think enough artists do that anymore, and I think it's sad. But yeah, that was a funny little thing that happened on Twitter today. You know, again, I'm not mad at them. But yeah. my art goals, my art improvement should just be making everything thicker. I think a nice thing about my art style is that, oh, actually, speaking of arts, you know, this will all relate to each other at some point, so I should just keep talking. But first, I'm going to read this Twitch chat. It is fine to critique certain parts of a drawing or suggest improvements, but calling an art style ugly is rough, right? Like, the audacity to say that. That's like... Honestly, I think she should delete her comment. I've been trying to host more positive art shares, but I really want to actually comment on everyone's art, and I just don't have any time recently. No, I get that. What's tough for me is that my art shares on the weekends, but I always work 8 hours on Saturday, so if I get like a lot, it's like, oh, this is a lot to go through, hang on. I probably spend like most of my breaks replying to like people's art. It's very, it's a little exhausting, but I love to do it anyways. It's a great way for me to like see everyone's art, especially because like feeds are so like blown up and everything, so there's so much to like sort through. I might miss something, and I don't want to miss something. But yeah, I think a cool thing about my art style, about people's art styles though, is that you can always like see like if an artist shares like other artists that they took inspiration from, you can see it in their art, which brings me to this guy. It's always sad when people share their unknown comments on their thing because they're a beginner or because the algorithm hates them or whatever. No, yeah, exactly. So I make sure to comment on every single one of them, and I make sure to say something more than like, oh, cute art. I try to put something like, I really like how you choose your colors. I think they're very bold. I think they're very bright, vibrant. Or I'll say something like, I love the way you render because it's so like, it stands out to me a lot. Like, I think comments like that hopefully make people's day. And it is tough to write them sometimes because I'm just not a very like social person. But I think writing stuff like that, writing things like, hey, I love how you did this, I love how you do eyes, I love how glossy they look, or I love how you paint. I think it's very like I think it's very like smooth but very like textured at the same time. I like the way you do line art. I think it's very clean, and I think it really like adds something to the thing. I think comments like that are like the best things ever. I love when people point out stuff like that. Like there's always like the, wow, you cooked so hard with this, but I love like the really like constructive ones, and I get that they're a lot to write, and not everyone is gonna sit down and write them, so I'll do it because I'm silly like that. A nice comment goes a long way. It really does. There are so many instances, I think, of just like people who have complimented my art, and it's like a thing that I remember forever, because it's like, wow, you think you think my art is nice enough or good enough to like say something, and I think that's beautiful. Oh, I should have watched like the ad thing. Okay, I'm gonna go on a different tangent as soon as like ads are presumably over. I've rarely seen bad art, like actually bad art. I've seen beginner art, but it's almost always has the roots of their art journey already shown through. There's definitely exceptions, but they are very rare if you actually look. Yeah, I agree. Bad art would be... How would I define bad art? See, it's hard to say, because if you're intentionally going out of your way to like break every single art rule, then there's intention, and it's probably supposed to look bad. In which case it does a good job at doing what it's supposed to do. It's doing a good job at looking bad, so therefore it's good art, I would say. It's good because it's doing its job. I think bad art, in my opinion, then, would be like really like low effort stuff. Like, it's like those people who will like they'll have like their white canvas, right? And then you know, let me pull up a proper pen for this, and they'll just do like a red streak across it and have like a little like dramatic hair flip when they do that. And then suddenly critics are like, this is the best thing ever. This is gonna like redefine art. Like, I think I have every right to say that that is like bad. Cause there are just people who like, it's like, what thought did I put into this? And then they'll sell it for like thousands, and it's just like, I know you don't have, I know you just picked up a brush and did that real quick. I think if you can't really like talk about your art, I think if you can't talk about like the actual like technical stuff and then like the intent and everything else that goes into making art, I think that kind of, maybe it doesn't necessarily mean the art is bad, but it does kind of mean like, it does kind of like convey to me you're not really taking it like super seriously. Like, again, I might not be able to like say all the vocabulary, but I can tell you what I am doing and what each little like thing means. So I guess that's my opinion. I think I would just call like some of like the museum stuff that critics are calling like glorious, even though it's like they did this in like 5 seconds. I think I would call that bad art, because it's just like, you're not really like, yeah, hateful art often goes into the bad art pile because I don't care to look into the heart of your piece if it's just coated in bigotry. Yes, that's another good one. That's another good one to add to the bad art pile. If we're throwing in like bigoted artworks and stuff like that into the mix, then I also say revenge porn is also really bad art. I don't care how skilled you are. That is fucked up. That is horrendously fucked up, and I'm also marginally sure that is harassment. Like, it might be funny for like the first 2 seconds, but then afterwards it's like, okay, you need to stop. Also, just art that would be labeled as a crime. That would also be bad art. Okay, we've defined bad art. We figured it out, guys. Yeah. I do, back to this one tangent that I wanted to do. I do like when you can tell, like, where artists get their inspiration from. This is just gonna be for you 5 viewers today. I entered an art contest, and my full submission will be going live tomorrow, when I remember to schedule it after stream. And my favorite comic artist, my favorite webcomic author is doing a fan art contest, and he's gonna choose his favorite ones to put into, like, to feature on, like, his socials, and what's it called? To feature on his socials and his comic. And all it was take your favorite character from the comic and draw them in your art style. So I was like, I need to go hard with this. Because I love this guy's art. This is my submission. I already, like, put it into the thing before stream. I hope it makes it. But yeah, the user is What a Hero. I'm gonna pull it up on a different tab here. I can't show you guys the comic because that would literally, I think that, because it's like premium and it's like locked behind a paywall and everything, but it's whatever. Let's see. One of these is my, okay. I see what I need to do. Like this. We'll put OBS back over here. I think one of the biggest reasons I want to be somewhat of a successful entertainer is because getting fan art sounds amazing. Dude, like, I have gotten like a few like little bits of fan art here and there. It is like the best feeling in the world. People drew stuff for me because they liked me. OMG, right? I have gotten like a few fan art pieces of Aerie and I love them to death. I got one of like a Apex Legends D&D AU. I was just like, you're so kind! Ah! But anyways, enough about me. This artist right here on my screen right now. This guy's art has high-key inspired my art style, and I think you guys can kind of see it. Like look, hang on, let me go to this media tab. Like, look at those, let me just open this image in a new tab so I can admire it in all its beautiful glory. Like, look at the lines, look at the colors, look at the shapes. Ugh, it's just, I love this artist so much. And he's so silly. But like, I love his webcomic. Huge inspiration to me personally. I love the cell shading too. I think it really works well, and I think it honestly works incredibly well for his line art style too, just because it's like so much more, like it blends so seamlessly. It's gorgeous. I love this. Let me see if I can find a drawing of like the character that I drew for his contest. I hope I don't accidentally scroll onto some NSFW here. I think he keeps it relatively PG-13. Relatively PG-13. Yeah, here she is. I can definitely see why you got inspired. Dude, this... Look. My three biggest things when it comes to my art style. I want thick outlines. I want them dummy thick. I want them thick like spaghetti noodles so I can slurp them up. I want my colors bold and vibrant. There is no use in having color if I cannot see the color. Like, I can see the color, but I want there to be more of it. I want it to, like, flashbang people, not with the luminosity, but with the intensity. And then finally, I want my rendering to look like I took a colored pencil, and I didn't know what I was doing with the colored pencil, except I did, because I'm a good artist. So, the thick outlines and the bold colors you can see I got from this guy. But yeah, this was the character I drew. She looks a little bit different in Season 3. I'd say I did a pretty good job, right? We'll put that there as like a small side-by-side comparison. Like, maybe it could have been a little bit more red. But she's like a psychotic, not serial killer. She's just crazy. She's a psychopath. And I had so much trouble like choosing like which character I wanted to draw because all of his character designs actually go so hard. So I was just like, who do I draw for this? I was just like, and I had an image in my head, and I was like, I'm gonna draw Flora. Her name is Flora. But yeah, I love this character. She's so silly, and I think I did a good job here. I hope I make it. I also hope that it's okay if I also hope that it's okay that I post my submission on Twitter before the contest gets submitted and everything, but we'll see. If I get disqualified, oops. Yeah. What a hero, Cedric Caballés. Huge inspiration. I would definitely check out his work if you guys can. Otherwise, a follow on Twitter to him would be pretty cool. He's already got like a huge audience, and I'm sure If I point followers in his direction, he probably won't notice, but regardless, I want to support this man because he is genuinely one of my biggest inspirations. And he's also Filipino, which, if you don't know anything about Filipinos, we do love community, and we do love, hanging around other Filipinos because we're silly like that. But yeah. I'm happy with this piece. I think I did the best job that I could. I went insanely hard, and hopefully I don't get flagged because I made the blood pink. Anyways, back to this. That was such a long-winded tangent of me just like fangirling over another artist on the internet. I should do that more often. Maybe next art share, I'll ask people like, guys, send me your art and I'm gonna compliment them on stream, like a crazy person. Maybe that's what I'll do. I think that would actually be a really fun stream idea. I might do that next Thursday. And then, like, I'll at the people, or I'll quote with, like, the clips or something. It's like, here's what I have to say about your art. I'm gonna shower people with, fangirl can be time can be a staple of your streams. It should be. I love girls' night. I don't get enough girl time sometimes, so stream should be great for that. And this is how I slowly indoctrinate everyone, or this is how I slowly convince everyone to do like the Halloween Jeff the Killer reading stream that I low-key kind of want to do just because Jeff the Killer, it's so bad. I mentioned earlier that I wanted to, I've talked about Jeff the Killer so much on stream already at this point that I feel like I should just have a stream dedicated to this figment of my imagination. We could make a stream overlay and everything and get real professional about it. Oh, yeah. Ah, man, that's another thing I want to do. I want to make my own custom stream overlay, because I want chat somewhere on stream. I just don't know how to do it yet. I need to look into it. I keep telling myself I'm going to do these things, and then I forget. Like I said with the highlight redeems, I completely forgot that I was going to do that. Oh my god. Chat, don't let me forget. I need to put channel point rewards. And one of those rewards, it was the only reward I could come up with. I teach you guys Filipino. I teach you guys Bisaya, actually. To be more specific. But yeah, that would be fun. But like I said, I was like trying to like think of a Jeff the Killer stream, because I've talked about him so much already. I feel like I should have one. I should make a stream dedicated to him at this point. This monument of my teenage years coming back to haunt me. But I was like, I don't know if just like reading the story would be like entertaining enough. Because, you know, like, I think I'm a good speaker, you know? Like, if I put like the outline of like a speech, I can speak pretty well. The same cannot be said with me reading off the incoherent story of Jeff the Killer, which I'm like, so like I don't know if that's gonna be like a very entertaining stream, and it is kind of gonna be like a slog to read through, especially if I'm just by myself. And I don't know if I want to invite like Johnny or Clive to like sit there and like revel in how bad it is, because Clive already knows the story, and I'm not sure Johnny would be into that. If you guys know any streamers that would like to do like a group reading of Jeff the Killer, send them my way. I will make sure that it's very silly. I'll come in like full cosplay and everything. But yeah, another thing I thought would be fun. Do you guys know Quote V? I'm gonna hope that the answer is yes, because otherwise I'm gonna sound insane. If you don't know though, Quote V, I wonder if it's still up. Let me see, I'm so curious now. Oh boy. I wonder how much it's changed. Oh. Well, this is a little different. It's more or less the same. I tend to not know things. Me too, Kira. This looks way more like Wattpad now, which I appreciate because Wattpad got some good shit on there too. Let me see. If I put creepypasta in here though, what am I gonna get? Oh, Jesus. Show me... I thought something that would be fun. Okay, so there's this website called QuoteBee, and you can make your own little, like, quizzes. So, like, a really popular one, when I was a teenager was, like, oh, which of these characters would date you, right? And it'd be from, like, different fandoms. And of course, because I wasn't normal, like the vampire kids and the werewolf kids, of course it was, creepypasta. Something is something is horrendously wrong with me. Anyways, oh my god, there's one from 2017. So you would just go through the quizzes, and it was so easy to tell, like, which answer led you, like, to which, result. So you would just, like, take the quiz and just retake it to get the one that you want. I thought something that would be fun is to answer the quizzes on stream. QuoteBee was my childhood, though. I'm so glad that you know what it is, Nikki. I'm so glad that somebody lived through this in stream, because otherwise I think I'm gonna look like an insane person. But yeah, I thought something that would be fun is to go through, like, creepypasta quizzes. Doing quizzes on stream, sure. But the thing is that, their usernames are gonna be on here. And I do not want to accidentally, like, send people their way. I'm sure they won't because I trust you guys, but sometimes you never know, you know? You gotta be, like, really careful. So I thought an X-Reader fanfiction would be funny. But I'm also a 24-year-old woman, so... I'll save my X-Readers for characters who I know are over the age of 18. Because at least with the quizzes, I could just choose the ones that's like, oh, I'll choose the ones that don't involve, like, the guy dating you at the end. I can just choose the ones, like, this one says, everyone has a creepypasta stalker, who's stalking you? That's not inherently romantic. There's not even romance in the tags, so it's like... That's technically not anything weird, and, you know, I'm just doing this for, like, stupidity's sake. I was a diehard fan of one of those specific haunted house anime boy interactive dating sim quizzes. It was obviously written by a fellow 14-year-old, and the art was just stolen from Google Images, but I didn't care. I was obsessed. Yes! The obsession is so real. This was genuinely one of the best pastimes when I was, like, 15 to 16. This was great. This was sauce. I was pissed though because I wanted to date the vampire, but I was ended up with a werewolf. Well, look at it this way. Both werewolves and vampires have fangs. But one has the perk of being able to walk out in the sunlight. This is such a stupid, like, tangent to go on. What's on the next page? The werewolf was a jock and Loki gave me conservative vibes. Oh. Big oofies. Thank God. So many of these are from, like, 2016, but some of these are from, like, maybe not this year, because it's just became 2025, but you guys know what I mean. It's so funny. Oh my god. There's like, I think it'd be really funny to do these on stream, but again, I don't necessarily want to, like, show off their usernames, and I don't know how I would, like... Maybe what I do is that I have, like, a graphic on screen, and I just move the quiz answers down as, like, a screenshot. And it's like, okay guys, vote in the comments, which one are we doing? I think the best one was definitely Ghost, but I was a big bad boy, so I ignored. I was a big bad boy fan. Mood. It's such a mood. I love when a guy has he can unfix me vibes. But yeah. I'll draft up some like ideas for like a Halloween stream. What day is Halloween actually this coming year? It won't matter, I guess, because I'll still just stream like Tuesday and Thursday, but oh, it's a Friday. That works for me. But yeah, I think I scared off like the other viewer here by talking about this stuff. Whoopsies. This is just so like them. It's so hard being a girl who's not like other. Oh, hey, they're back. We're back to 4 viewers, guys. Also, Slenderman showed up once, and it was very weird because he wasn't written as a hot guy, so there was just one regular horror monster in the house of anime boy monsters. Yeah, it's me and all these hot monsters and the eldritch the faceless eldritch abomination who sits upstairs and files taxes. That's all I heard right there. Did I nail the dynamic? Did I guess this little like AU thing? I think they were trying to imply he was like a father figure. Okay, so I got the dynamic right. Because it's like I think Slenderman has always like taken like the same role in any fan fiction he's like written in. That's not an X-reader. He's always like taking care of the other monsters. Like there was Slenderman's mansion in the woods that everyone lived at, and this mansion had like everything, and he would always take care of all the creepy crawlies there. I think that was always like how Slenderman was portrayed in fanfics, which is cute on one end, but on the other hand, you also have to consider that this man was abducting children in like his canon lore, if you think about it. So did it stop again? Yes, I'm still watching. I'm just playing music. But yeah, single father Slenderman with his 89 monster children. Why did all the 14-year-old girls decide that Slenderman was a father figure? Like, where did that even come from? It comes from being a 14-year-old girl with daddy issues. It's simple. You're 14, and then like your parents don't really understand why you're like into knives and stuff, so they start being like a little like critical of that. It's like, oh, this isn't really for girls, and it's like, but it's cool, and I want it. It's like you just don't understand. So you like, so I think what it is, then they like sit there and they see this creature guy. He's dressed up in a tux, he's taller than the others, so it's like automatically he's like radiating. Are the pages you have to collect in the game the divorce papers? Oh no! Oh man! You know what? Yeah, that's my new headcanon now. Slender the 8 pages. It's more like Slender. The 8 times I had to file for divorce. They're all his children's art. He doesn't have a fridge, so he puts it on the trees, right? I think all it is that Slenderman is just, he's taller, he's like, he's bad because you're wrecking. Yeah. He's taller, he's well-dressed, and of course the well-dressed implies like some sort of like functionality, stability, whatever you want to call it. So I think a lot of people just like projected like a supportive father figure onto him because their dads probably weren't like supportive of them when they were younger. Because my parents were like the same thing too. I got my first pocket knife and my parents were like, Kyra, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then like you want to express like more of like your weird interests with them, and then every time you do it they're like what happened to my little girl? And you're just there like, something's wrong with me, and and I wish I had parents who, like, accepted that I'm weird and silly like that. So, Slenderman shows up in your little internet scrolling, and, you're like, oh, this could be my dad. My parents are gay, which is great, but I feel very left out. Oh, don't worry about feeling left out. My parents, like, for as much as I talked about it just now, it's not like they were terrible, because it's like, okay, yeah, I can see, like, the mild concern of, like, your teenage daughter being attracted to, again, fictional serial killers and then starting a knife collection. Probably, plus it would be weird if he chased you in a sweater and chino pants. Slenderman wears socks and sandals. Oh, this is... I need to draw creepypasta again, just for these chat messages. I will not tag it as such, but all of you will know, and that's what's important here. But yeah, and you know, for me it was a phase, like, you recognize at some point, like, hey, the fandom was funny, but I'm kind of, like, not vibing with it as much anymore, because I don't remember it being written this poorly. Are you touching the thermostat? And then that's when your screen fills with, like, static and everything. But yeah, it was part of it. Some things were a phase, other things weren't. Most of, like, my weird interests and everything, those stayed. Creepypasta did not, unfortunately. Well, it kind of did in some aspects, but not like it used to. Like, my whole, like, I like collecting knives. I think it's very fun, and it's evolved into, like, collecting swords. Like, me with, like, video games. My dad used to be, like, I don't see a lot of girls playing video games. Like, yeah, it's kind of the problem, actually. But he like, gets it now. It's been great seeing my dad, honestly, like, become more of, like... Oh no, I'm dying. Real. It's been great watching my dad become more, like, better aware of, like, the things he says and the things that are happening in this world and how bad capitalism is and how, communism is. No. I don't think I'll ever be on board for communism. But, you know, it's a great thing to say. I know! I'm dying! Hi, dying! I'm slender! Oh, man. I wish he wasn't Slender Man, because honestly, Dad Bod Slender Man would go so hard as a thing. Well, maybe I should just draw Dad Bod Slender Man. It's no longer Slender Man, it's Dad Bod Man. Slendad Man, the arrival. This is such a good discussion. I'm gonna see if I can finish the last of my chocolate so I don't forget that it's here real quick. Hang on. Oh boy. But yeah, yeah, my dad's come a long way. I think my mom is getting there, but, like, low-key, she kind of doesn't talk to us too much, so I don't mind. I don't mind if she doesn't. My parents are good people, and, we used to be worried that they were homophobic, but they're not. Not anymore, at least. I don't think I'll ever come out to them, though. Because one, I think they know already, and two, I don't need to come out to them. They'll find out when they find out. Slim Dead Man, the arrival 2 hours early because he refuses to be late to the airport again, damn it. The alternative title is The Late Arrival because everyone else was ready, and when everyone else was ready, that's when he started getting ready. I'm glad they changed, but I would still be careful with that. Yeah, I mean... I'll see, maybe my opinion will change, like, later on. and I'll want to, but for now it's like, it just doesn't feel like something that I need to do. And, you know, it's not like I'm gonna, like, tell them. It's not like I'm not gonna, like, it's not like I'm gonna not tell them and then just come home with a girlfriend one day. I think what it is, like, I'll ease, like, the idea onto them. It's like, hey, women. You would think, like, I think my dad should know already with how much I draw women that I just really like women. Man, it's 12:20 already. I haven't even gotten to the color. I should hurry up and do that. We'll color Elliott first. He's the real star of the show here. And it'll be fun choosing like a color palette for him. Oh, that was not the last of the soundtrack. People make a big deal about coming out, but it's not really something you should ever had to do. Yeah, I agree. Again, it's not that I'm uncomfortable doing it at this point, it's just, I don't think I need to. I think they know. Alrighty! That's all the outlines. I think. I didn't miss a spot, did I? Make sure that follows through. Alright! Look at that! I never really came out because I never thought to hide it. I'm incredibly lucky to live in an accepting place. That's really lucky. Yeah. I know one of my cousins isn't. His dad isn't like a big ally, but like the uncle that he lives like really close to apparently isn't. So he stopped going to their house. And it's like, whoopsies. But you know what? Well, it's not fine, but it's like, you know what, you don't have to like, you're not responsible to be in the presence of someone else. You're not responsible to go to, you're not responsible to go to your uncle's house. You don't need to do these things. So it's not like if ever like our uncle, that one uncle, it's not like we need him to like stop being the way he is, but it's like we just live above that. We just hold our heads up high and ignore it. Me and my mom are both bi, so it's great. That is so lucky. I'm pretty sure both my parents are straight, because they never say anything. But my dad, sometimes he'll be like, sometimes I find a guy really attractive, but I'm not like attracted to him. It's like, I'm like, that's good, Dad, because that just means you're really comfortable with your masculinity and you're not afraid to admit when a guy is hot. And I'm glad he does that, because he does find some men handsome, and he is not afraid to admit it. Alright, let's pull up Elliott. Beep. Let's start choosing some colors. This man holds the most perfect, like, side profile. 3/4 does not exist. The art is looking so good, by the way. Thank you! Thank you. I think it's very silly of my art to look good like that. She came out to me so casually in passing. I was just like, "You're bi?" And she was like, "Wait, I haven't told you." That's so cute. I love that. I love the details in Elliott's face. Oh, I'm glad you know. I'm glad you noticed. I like when there's like a lot of details that you can like zoom in. It's like you can observe it. Because I like observing things. Alright. See, I could rip the actual color palette from the sprite. Let me try that. Oh my god, it's so tiny. Okay, let's see. The lines are crisp, but I love his expression of slight worry. I mean, I think he has every right to be concerned. There's a demon-looking character holding a dead fish up to him. I, too, would be mildly perturbed at this point. But you know what? After the first, like, 5 fishes, I think I would get used to it and actually look forward to getting a fish. I like my men with skin texture. I'm tired of smooth faces all the time. That's not how faces work. Real. I was thinking of making a comic, actually 2 comics. I'll talk about this one first, though. There it is. I'll talk about this idea first, though. My mom is always, like, harping on me. Like, Kyra, you need to take care of your skin. And I'm like, I know, but I don't care about smooth skin. So, like, I always have, like, a lot of acne. So I wanted to make a comment where it's like, Kyra, your scales are showing again, and, like, it's my mom as, like, also a tiefling. But she's also kind of supposed to look like a draconic sorcerer because that's the lore for my little Sona. And it's like, but Mom, I like my scales, and, like, you just see me, like, scratching at them, because that's something that I do a lot. Something like that. It's just, I don't care for smooth skin. I know I have nice skin, but also my skin is sensitive, so I don't see the point in the upkeep because I know it's just gonna, like, break out again because it's like that. So, you know, I'm not gonna try that hard to keep it nice. Like, I'll pop pimples, like, where I can, and, like, I guess scratch at things to, like, make it smooth again, but I'm not gonna, like, do all, like, the routines and everything. I think it's exhausting and be too much work. Elliott is also one of the older bachelors, so giving him some wrinkles is always fun. Let him look his age. Real. Yeah. Some people draw him like a little baby face. I'm like, that's fine. You guys do what you want, but I'm gonna do what I want. Alright, that's a bit yellow. Yeah, I guess that is the same color, but it's very yellow. I think it's just like a... Yeah, that's not right. So, I'm gonna bring it closer to red. That's a little too red. I'm gonna give him a little bit of a tan. Oh, how much of a tan would he have realistically? He stays inside and writes all day. I don't have a tan and I stay inside and draw all day, so that's like basically like the same thing. Let's see. I like that. I like that color. Oh yeah, the second I can relate as a fellow pimple popper and acne haver. Dude, it's so fun. I feel so gross doing it sometimes. It's like, it's a little gross, but it's like, it's so satisfying. It's like it's my little stim. I think smooth skin is overrated. I like things like wrinkles and moles, acne and freckles, and whatever else it adds character. It really does. There was a quote from a video game, Fantasy Life on the 3DS. If any of you guys have ever played that, it's... I'm sorry, that triggered me. The phishing notification. I was like, where's my mouse? Like, Fantasy Life for the 3DS, I doubt anyone's played it because I've only met like one other person who played it. Besides Johnny. But, there was a quote there where it's like, the basic gist of it was like, if you laugh a lot, you're probably gonna get like wrinkles when you're older, like a lot of wrinkles. But it's like, I don't understand how you could want to hide the fact that you were such like a happy and giggly person back then. So it's like, I'm gonna let my wrinkles show, and I'm like, I agree. I don't know how well I'm gonna age later on in life, but I am definitely going to let my wrinkles show when they do inevitably come in. I think it's stuff like that that makes me like more at peace with like getting older, because it's like, well, it's gonna be another silly chapter. But yeah, that's my take on acne. I don't care for smooth skin. I won't draw them on myself, though. The scales, I think, are enough. And also, I just don't really know how I would paint it on there, so... Oh well.
That is a very nice way. I hope I get smile lines. I hope I get smile lines too. I want to look like very happy when I'm older. I look very silly. With that same blank expression on my face from like birth to the ground. Anyways, the second comic idea that I wanted to make, I posted the draft of the script, or comic script and everything, because I had accidentally left my Apple Pencil at my cousin's house. It's not particularly easy for me to bring my laptop anywhere, so like, I was just like, well, I guess I'll just type it out then. I typed out a little pretend heart event. Like, let's pretend Kerr here, this guy. Let's pretend this guy had a heart event in the game. And it was basically just like, a thing like, oh, well, I wanted to create and sell art too, and I wanted to find success, but before success found me, carpal tunnel found me first. Which, I put it in there because when I look at Elliott's character, when I look at, like, his events and everything, and his schedule, it just gives me the vibes. Like, this is a man who carpaled his tunnel because I know he writes with, like, pen and paper. I'm probably gonna get wrinkles from furrowing my brows so much that it runs in the family, so I don't really mind that either. We're not mad all the time, we just tend to furrow our brows. Yeah, mood. I think a really nice thing that I heard off of a Moist Critical video once, I don't even think he meant this, like as, like, a moment of, like, a, hey, sit down, we're gonna talk about, like, self-esteem and insecurities. He meant it as, it was just, like, in passing. It was a really quick thing. But I like that he said that, like, he was like, yeah, I wish I was taller, but I can't change anything about it, so there's no use, being, like, insecure about it. And I think that was, like, a really, like, eye-opening thing. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of things I don't necessarily like about my body, but I'm not gonna beat myself up over things I literally cannot change, so, I think that's been, like, doing a lot for, like, my, self-image, which has been great. Anyways, the comic. This man, there's no way he didn't carpal his tunnel writing a novel. Like, drawing is, like, kind of, I think, not nearly as bad with, like, writing pen and paper, because the movements are so much bigger, right? And, he wrote a novel. Like, pen and paper, that's a lot of words! This man carpaled his tunnel, and I just wanted a little heart event, where it's like, please remember to rest and go to the doctor about this. I thought that would be a cute thing. It is, there are things you can't change, we have to embrace what we have. I agree. Like, would I like to be a little bit bigger in my chest area to fill out clothes more? Yes. Because there are a lot of dresses and other types of clothes that I would like to wear. But at least I can still wear other things and it looks really good on me. Like, dressing edgy all the time. I'm not edgy by choice sometimes. I'm edgy because I dress the way that I do because I'm so short and I'm so small that I kind of just look like a teenager. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dress like one from Hot Topic anyways, because you know what, the fit works. I think that's a good green. We'll see when we get to the hair. Choose this color. It's a bit bright. Light it more up, actually. I think I would want this part to be more yellow to contrast more with the skin. Actually, no, bring it back down to orange. Nope. Too dark. Too brown. I will figure this out. Bring it more this way. Yeah, that's a good color. Hey, if you enjoy those clothes, wear them. Nature seems to think so. Basically! You can, some people were assigned male or female at birth. I was assigned emo. I'm kidding. I'm trying less to throw like the words emo and goth around more because I'm not entirely well versed on the culture, but I can point out like the dress styles like with ease. Like, there are some people who will call like we're finally back to talking about Stardew. There are some people who like call Sebastian like goth, and I'm like, that is not goth. That is emo. You can call Abigail goth. I'll accept that mostly. But Sebastian is emo, and you can't tell me otherwise. There's like a very like specific look that emo and goths have from each other. I can't describe it very well, but I know it when I see it is the thing. I usually like to identify more as like punk, but I do like, I think alt is just a good way for me. It's just like I'm a very like a very like edgy person, but also in like the cottagecore way sometimes. I love alternative genres so much, I could talk about them for hours. Goth is actually music subculture firstly, and the fashion came after. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I should ask one of my coworkers about goth culture. She actually is goth, actually, which I think is really cool, because one, I still don't know too much about it, and two, I think it's just, I think it is cool learning about stuff. Sebastian reminds me the most of a member of Good Charlotte, so that works out. Punk is a political subculture, the music and fashion following after. Ah, I see, that's interesting. Yeah. I think I definitely wouldn't consider myself emo, because I think the general idea about the general idea of the emo mindset is like, you're not necessarily depressed, but you are very upset at like the state of the world, and it's kind of, you have like a very like pessimistic, like doom, nihilistic kind of view of it from what I can tell. Like, it really is like a depressive, nothing matters, but it's not depression necessarily. But that's kind of the extent of my knowledge. I don't know, I listen to MCR these days, and I definitely, emo is a younger subculture and has more roots in the internet, but it's also a music subculture, yeah. Something that's interesting on the subject of emo, My Chemical Romance, one of the corners of the holy emo trinity in Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, and MCR. That was the big one when I was a teenager, right? Like, that was the holy emo trinity. Molgoth is very visually similar to emo. Oh, so Molgoth is actually a thing, and that wasn't Spotify just spitting something random at me for my Wrapped. But like, My Chemical Romance, if I had to describe their albums, it's all pop punk, right? Like, there's no like getting around that. But Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. I don't know much about the Bullets album, but I've listened to Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, I've listened to The Black Parade, and I've listened to Danger Days. Three Cheers, that absolutely, I think, is the most emo of the three albums. It's like unapologetically that is like quintessential like pop emo right there, in my opinion, right? And then The Black Parade, a lot of people will call it emo music, but when you listen to The Black Parade and Three Cheers side by side, it's very different. Like, The Black Parade is way more, it's something else, and I can't put my finger on it exactly. It's still definitely like in that more edgy sort of like space, but it is not the same at all as Three Cheers. And then Danger Days, that is punk, that is rock and roll, and then I love the Danger Days album. It is actually my favorite of the three. Japanese alternative subcultures are very cool because the kawaii and Lolita subcultures are actually very politically driven in the same way that punk was. Oh, that's interesting. I never would have guessed that because I genuinely do not know much about Japanese cultures. But that is cool to see, like, how it translates in like different like countries and stuff. Because I don't think I ever would have thought to like look in that direction. They look really different, but they have the same roots in rebellion. Oh. Maybe one day we'll do like a little fun stream deep dive into stuff. But yeah. As a way to just like not like misuse the terms, though, Johnny did say that I should just call myself alt. I'll agree to that. I will call myself alt. I don't know what flavor of alt. I kind of like bounce between like whatever I want. It's a bit bright still. And that's just too desaturated. It's a bit pink. Needs to be like more. Me calling different shades of red pink. Like, I can just see more pink in there. I promise. I'm not crazy. There we go. That has significantly less pink in there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I promise it has less pink. There just has to be like times, like during stream, where I must sound like a crazy person, and I'm here for it. One of these days, I'll make like a best clips compilation, and it's just gonna be me, going on like the most insane like tangents ever. Like, you remember the cannibalism thing from like a few streams ago? That was funny. Like I watched the clip back. And it's like there's Minecraft music playing in the background as I'm talking about what it might feel like to sink your teeth into like different types of organs and talking about like the textures they might have. That was like like what was I talking about? I'm punk, but a very small town punk. I want to get tattoos and piercings and stuff, but honestly I'm scared of the local parlor. What if they suck? I don't know what I'll do then. I would check their ratings, cause this is a perfect time for another story. Oh boy, I have a small nose piercing on my left nostril, and you might see me like fidget with it sometimes, like just now, like the little L shape is sticking out. I am terrified of needles. I don't know how to describe it, but I don't like the imagery. I don't mind as soon as the needle is like through the skin. Rip Elliott, the fish got him, yeah. I accidentally gave him food poisoning, sorry Johnny. I want you guys to know that after stream I am likely going to be playing Stardew with him again. Oh, Johnny, you're here, perfect. I have something to show you. Hang on guys. Don't be sorry to Johnny, be sorry to Elliott. I would have put this, like, on your bed, Johnny, but I kind of, I wanted to shower. And, I kind of forgot because I went to go eat dinner and then I wanted to finish my thing. But, you're here, so your presence has reminded me. Look at him. I have to wait for the 5-second delay to catch him up. Say hi to Johnny, guys. It's the creature. He supposedly glows in the dark, too. I'm not sure how to get him to do that, but he glows in the dark according to this sticker right here on the box. I must retrieve my creature. I love the creature. Yeah! It's him. He's very soft. And his teeth are very... Man, they're really well sculpted. I'm going to name him Elliott Creature. Hey guys, you guys like Elliott's new talking portrait for when you open dialogue boxes with him? I'm quite a fan of it. Anyways, you can come get that after stream so you don't accidentally dox your face. Stardew mod, but all the talk sprites are bundlers. Oh my god, imagine. Anyways, yeah, so this small piercing, I fidget with it sometimes on stream. I am terrified of needles. I don't like the image of them, like, about to break the skin, because I don't like how the skin dips down like that at the point. It makes my skin crawl. That's kind of the only way I can describe, like, the feeling that that visual gives me. And I also don't like the idea of, like, holes, like, in my face, like, adding another hole in there. Because when I think about it, it's like, there's, like, air can pass through there. I'm weird like that, I don't know. It's strange. So I had a magnetic piercing, here for a while, but I kept knocking it off, and it was so annoying, and finally, it was like the day before Halloween, I knocked it off doing a thing, and I couldn't find it again, and I was so, like, upset, because it was the day before Halloween. I had a Wraith cosplay, and Wraith has a nose piercing. I didn't have anything else, so I was like, shoot, what do I do? So I just, like, I, like, improvised it, but the way that I did it, it was, like, really pinching my skin, and it hurt. And finally I was just like, you know what? I look so good with, like, a nose stud there. I should just get my nose pierced. I didn't do any research. I just found the closest, like, tattoo shop, in my city. I had to go to the next city over, actually. And I was like, I'm just gonna get my nose pierced. Me and my friend were there, and I wish I had known that nostril piercings hurt a lot, because oh boy, it hurt a lot. But it looks good! But yeah, impromptu piercing. Sometimes it's the spontaneous, spontaneity. I don't know why I romanced Elliott. I do not deserve this. Anyways, sometimes it's the spontaneousness of a situation that gives you the courage to do something that you really want to do. I am the world's worst punk because I don't have my ears pierced. Bro, I've had my ears pierced since I was at— okay, well that technically wasn't my choice, but I would have gotten them pierced anyways. I've had my ears pierced since I was like 2. Apparently my mom just wanted me to have earrings, and you know what? At least it worked out. Johnny also has his ears pierced, but he got his pierced like at a much later date than me. It's like, what was it? We got it pierced at the mall, Johnny, and then like you were scared for a bit, and then Nico, I think, had to like keep you distracted while the guy pierced them. I'm gonna get them pierced when I have money. Oh yeah, absolutely. And ear piercings are like nice. I want to get more. Like I want to get a second one on my lobe, and then I was thinking like, what if I got a helix piercing? Mom said I could have a video game if I stopped crying, so I locked it. Is that how it happened? Look up that meme? Okay. Oh my god, Johnny, what is this? What is what am I looking at? You know that meme about like blue eyes staring into your soul? That's how I feel right now. Oh my god, it's almost 1. I should hurry up and get the flats done before I turn in for the night. Let's see, Elliott has a green tie. It's very vibrantly colored. Should lean more towards the cooler end of the spectrum. You can still leave more of that saturation. Push him closer to the blue. He's got green pants too, if I remember correctly. Does anyone have his overworld sprite? I would like if like autofill just stayed when I hit enter so I don't accidentally put strange things into my search bar. Where is his overworld sprite? I swear his pants is green. There it is. God freaking it's so small. Ah! Yeah, it's green pants and gold buttons. There we go. He's a green pants fella. Interesting combination. Makes him look like a walking Christmas decoration. I think that works out. Yeah. Grayed out just a teeny bit more, actually. No, actually, it was better like this. I love picking and choosing colors. It's so funny. So do this real quick so I can... Ooh, actually, what if it was beige? Just real quick. Let me entertain this idea in my head. I do like that a lot more, actually. But it needs more color. I literally just sit here it's like, yes, but I've desaturated too much. More! Yeah, I like this a lot better, but I think I need to change the green a little bit just to like, so it doesn't look too, gotta go in some opposite directions here. Oops. And then do gold buttons. I like doing like around this area for gold because I think it actually works out really well, especially when you get to the rendering part. And then we'll delete this. Delete the real Elliott. And we'll give him like a... Does this sprite sheet have the one where he's reading the book? We'll give him a blue book because that's the one that he's reading. I don't want to draw too much attention to it, so I'm going to make sure that it's like not as vibrant. Oh my god, I'm on the wrong layer. Ah! Is there anything else on the wrong layer? No. Why does this keep happening to me? Oops. There are like soundtracks that I have never heard before. I'm not sure what point in the game like any of these play. Alright. Color in the pages. Be wrapping up soon enough here. I just gotta go color my character and the fish. What kind of fish should I be giving him? Or maybe it's not really worth it to make it like super like accurate to a real fish because I did kind of just draw a fish. Oops. Here we go. Let me save too. I think it's been a while since I last did that. Do I still have the emotes? Here we go. Rather than have like character sheets with like actual color palettes on them, I just have art files that I go back to. This is how hilariously disorganized I am sometimes. I'll make like character like color palette sheets for like some things, but like other things I just like I'll just try to remember what that one file is called and I'll just get it from there when I need it. finish up coloring in this, my little Sona here first, and then we'll probably call it there for stream. Are you excited, Johnny? We're gonna play Stardew on Tuesday, and I guess tonight after stream too. But yeah, we're gonna play Stardew on Tuesday. Do you have anything to say to the audience for when we start streaming that? He's just texted me on Discord, let me know when I should go to your room. I don't know if he's still here. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited, and I am going into Stardew Expanded completely blind, so that's gonna be really funny to see. Then at least we're almost done today. Look at the big brown eyes. Who could say no to that fish after looking at that? I would say no to myself. I wouldn't trust myself. I like painting in the scales. I think it's very satisfying. I'll probably finish rendering this on Monday because I'm going to spend probably tomorrow and the weekend working on art raffle stuff. I think that's going to be the smart thing to do. Because I'm behind on that. I would have done it, I really would have like done it like today and everything, but or today and yesterday, but I completely forgot that there was a deadline for the contest and I forgot that I wanted to enter, so yeah. Oh well. I'm excited though. I really do hope that I make it in. I'm thinking about it, just like, you know what, even if I don't make it in though, I'll make peace with it now. At least I made a really cool piece of fan art, and I can live with that in my head. I'm too much cat to turn down the fish. Oh, you're so right, actually. The seafood is good. We went to a buffet for New Year's. I kid you not, I had like 3 plates of sashimi. And just as a little bonus too, Johnny owes me like a whole salmon fillet. Like just a raw salmon fillet because, I want to sink my teeth into like raw meat. But unfortunately, I think one of the only meats that are like safe to consume raw is like fish. So I'm settling with salmon, and I want to eat it so bad. Because I think it'd be funny. Oh shoot. I have the curved chibi on this. You know what? We'll give myself a different color earring. We'll give myself... What color earring should I do? Should I do blue to... I should do blue to match with him! Yes! I'll do a blue crystal. Oh, I'm so smart. I definitely didn't just think of that just now. Actually, it's easier if it's just better if you do like simplified palettes for characters sometimes. Steak tartare can be eaten raw, but that's like, I've had tartare before. It's like bone marrow, right? Which, yes, very good bone marrow. I did enjoy that the one time I had it, but I want like a slab of meat that I can like just rip and tear into. Someone should just compile like clips of me like talking about like eating raw meat and just be like, is like Kerr is not beating the werewolf allegations. Something silly like that. I think there should be an edit of that. We'll do like a nice washed out sort of faded red shirt, because I think that's actually the shirt my character wears in game, and also it's just like a lot easier on the eyes.
give it a little bit more color. I feel like you should be able to eat it raw if you froze it long enough, like how fish is prepared. I wonder why we can't. I think isn't there like some people on TikTok, like the carnivore community or whatever it's called? They eat raw beef, right? I don't know how they do it, but I'm also worried that if I tried that, I would get sick, just because like I'm sure they like built up like some sort of immunity to it or something, right? I don't know. Was that the end of the soundtrack? Oh, it was. Oh, perfect. And we're just about ready to end stream, I think. We'll just color in those last little pixels. Alright. Well, I would have liked ending music for this, but I don't have any. Well, so, this is where we're gonna leave off for today, because it is 1 o'clock in the morning. Why do I do this to myself? I'm gonna play Stardew after this with Johnny. Haha. Anyways, next stream, Tuesday, 11:30. The Tuesday streams are back. Holiday season is over. It is so jover. We are back to the 2 stream schedule per week. I'm still a little sniffly, my word. And, let's see, we'll, hopefully we will be up for, me and Johnny will be playing modded Stardew that day, and it'll be really silly, and, after that, there's not much else. Everything's more or less the same. Art every single day except for the weekends. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Thank you all so much for watching and hanging around. It really is like just a wonderful like little yap session for my week. So I'm glad that you all came around. I will see you next time. Bye. Where's my mouse?